When disaster strikes and store shelves go empty, there's one type of food that becomes more valuable than gold, and most people completely overlook it. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the 20 most essential dried foods that can keep you fed for decades, why they're superior to fresh alternatives in crisis situations, and the exact storage methods that can extend their shelf life to 30 years. Plus, I'll share insider tips on when to buy these foods at the lowest prices and which ones become the most valuable for bartering. Welcome to Food Fixer, where we turn everyday ingredients into long-term solutions. If you're ready to build a bulletproof pantry that can weather any storm, hit that like button and subscribe for more life-saving food storage secrets. Let's start with the foundation of any serious survival pantry: legumes. These aren't just your average beans and lentils. These are protein powerhouses that can literally keep you alive for years. First up, pinto beans. These are the first to vanish when meat prices surge or supplies dwindle. Here's why they're absolutely essential. They're affordable, protein-rich, and incredibly adaptable. When stored properly in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, they last up to 25 years. Think about that. Food you buy today could still be feeding your grandchildren. A single pound yields over 6 cups when cooked, making them incredibly calorie-dense. Here's a pro tip that most people don't know. Soaking them overnight cuts your cooking time in half, saving precious fuel when every resource counts. Their low-fat content means there's virtually no risk of them going rancid, and here's something really clever. You can grind them into powder for instant refried beans or to thicken soups. Store them in metal trash cans lined with Mylar to keep rodents out, and always buy after the fall harvest when prices are at their lowest. Next, chickpeas or garbanzo beans. These little golden nuggets are survival gold. They boast that same 25-year shelf life and are incredibly versatile. Think hummus, roasted snacks, or you can even grind them into gluten-free flour. But here's something most people don't realize. That water you soak them in, called aquafaba, can actually replace eggs in baking. It's like having a whole pantry in one ingredient. Chickpeas are also a bartering favorite, especially among vegetarians who'll trade premium items for plant-based protein. There's a split version called chana dal that cooks 40% faster, perfect for fuel conservation. Here's something to watch for. U.S. chickpea supply depends on a single rail line, so disruptions can cause massive shortages. Keep an eye on market trends and buy in bulk when you can. Now let's talk about the speed demon of legumes, green lentils. These are a prepper's best friend for fast, fuel-efficient nutrition. They cook in just 15 minutes or 8 minutes in a pressure cooker, and they don't require any soaking. Store them in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, and you've got a 20-year shelf life. But lentils are incredibly versatile beyond just cooking. You can grind them into flour, sprout them for fresh greens even in winter, or combine them with rice for a complete protein profile. Their low moisture content means bugs rarely infest them, and they're a low-carbon footprint food, making them less vulnerable to future environmental taxes or restrictions. Split peas are another efficiency champion. Because they're already split, they cook incredibly fast and thicken soups naturally without any additional ingredients. They last up to 25 years in nitrogen-flushed cans or Mylar-lined buckets. Their low allergen profile makes them perfect for community meals or bartering with people who have food sensitivities. You can puree them for a no-cook spread or mill them into flour for protein-rich breads. Even their leftover soak water makes excellent garden fertilizer, and their natural starch content means you can thicken stews without using precious flour. Black-eyed peas are the quick-cooking champions that don't need pre-soaking. They're easy to grow if you have land, they actually fix nitrogen in the soil, and they last over 20 years when vacuum sealed. Their earthy flavor pairs perfectly with rice or millet, and they're a high-value barter item, especially during cultural events when demand spikes. Store them in galvanized bins with bay leaves to repel rodents, and you can compost the spent shells for your garden. Finally, in the legume category, red kidney beans. These are hearty and protein-rich, but here's something critical. They must be boiled hard for at least 10 minutes to destroy natural toxins. Never eat them undercooked. They expand significantly when cooked, so a little goes a long way, and they last up to 25 years in proper storage. Their thick skin makes them ideal for stews and chili that need to simmer for hours. Watch for media stories about bean toxicity, as these can trigger panic buying and price spikes. Add dried jalapeno flakes or tomato powder to create shelf-stable chili mixes. Moving beyond legumes, let's talk about comfort foods and carbohydrates. Dried spaghetti might seem basic, but it's actually brilliant survival food. It's universally recognized comfort food that's shelf-stable for over 25 years when sealed with oxygen absorbers. It's incredibly fuel-efficient. You can literally just pour boiling water over broken spaghetti sticks, seal the container, and let it sit. The starchy cooking water can even be reused for washing dishes, maximizing your water usage. Store it vertically in buckets or ammo cans with bay leaves to ward off weevils. Spaghetti is also a top barter item because everyone recognizes it and knows how to prepare it. Now let's dive into vegetables and fruits, your vitamin insurance policy. Freeze-dried mixed vegetables are lightweight, colorful, and packed with vitamins that can prevent scurvy and other deficiency diseases. They rehydrate in under 3 minutes and last 25 to 30 years if sealed properly. Here's an insider tip. FEMA often buys up supplies after disasters, so stock up early before they corner the market. These vegetables are crucial for morale. They add color and variety that reduces food fatigue, transforming bland survival meals into something actually satisfying. Store them in rust-resistant cans and reseal opened cans with oxygen absorbers to maintain freshness. Dehydrated carrot dice are compact, shelf-stable, and rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A for eye health and immune function. They rehydrate quickly and add natural sweetness to meals. Store them in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers for a 20-year shelf life. You can grind them into powder and add it to bread or biscuits for a nutrient boost. And they're perfect for bug-out kits because they're so lightweight and compact. Freeze-dried sweet corn is pure morale food. It's shelf-stable for 25 to 30 years and can be eaten straight from the can or rehydrated in minutes, no cooking required. Its natural sugars provide quick energy when you need it most, and it's perfect for bug-out bags because kids especially love it. Store it in airtight jars with silica packets to keep it crispy, and don't waste the powder at the bottom of the can. Use it to sweeten cornbread or oatmeal. For fruits, sun-dried raisins are calorie-dense, lightweight, and require zero preparation. They last up to 20 years when stored with desiccant in Mylar or vacuum-sealed jars. Raisins work as a natural sweetener. They're perfect for binding energy bars together, and they're a top barter item because families with kids will trade almost anything for them. Always freeze raisins for 48 hours before long-term storage to kill any insect larvae and inspect them for moisture before sealing. Freeze-dried strawberries deliver massive amounts of vitamin C, antioxidants, and intense flavor with a 30-year shelf life. They rehydrate in cold water in under 5 minutes and are perfect for bug-out bags because they're so lightweight. Use the powder that settles at the bottom for flavoring drinks or pancake batter. The supply chain for these is fragile, so buy during off-seasons when prices are lower. Dried apple rings are lightweight, naturally sweet, and high in fiber, lasting up to 20 years when vacuum-sealed. They're easy to portion and ration, and they rehydrate quickly. Cinnamon-dusted varieties actually help deter bugs, and broken pieces can be used as natural sweeteners. You can even ferment apple cores and skins into vinegar, making them a true zero-waste survival food. Dried figs are nutrient powerhouses, offering natural sugar, fiber, and essential trace minerals. They last over 20 years if stored with desiccant. Figs are incredibly versatile. Add them to stews for sweetness, make energy bars, or even ferment them into wine. They're high-value barter items, especially around holidays when demand spikes. Now let's talk about specialty foods that can make the difference between surviving and thriving. Dried shiitake mushrooms add rich, meaty flavor and are packed with B vitamins and immune-boosting compounds. They last up to 25 years when properly stored. Rehydrate them in warm water and you get both the mushrooms and a savory broth, or grind them into powder for seasoning. They're a top barter item for vegetarians and can be stored in metal-lined containers to prevent their strong aroma from transferring to other foods. Dried seaweed like nori and wakame is lightweight, space-efficient, and packed with iodine, magnesium, and vitamin K. This becomes crucial when iodized salt runs out, as iodine deficiency can cause serious health problems. Most U.S. seaweed is imported, so supply can vanish quickly during international tension. Store vacuum-packed sheets in a cool, dry place for up to 10 years. For protein beyond legumes, beef jerky is reliable, shelf-stable protein that lasts up to 10 years when vacuum-sealed. It's incredibly calorie-dense and portable, and you can rehydrate it for stews. Make your own with a dehydrator and curing salts for maximum cost savings. Store it with silica gel packets to prevent moisture. Jerky is a high-value barter item, and leftover fat trimmings can be rendered into tallow for candles or soap. Freeze-dried chicken breast is fully cooked, lightweight, and stores for up to 30 years. It's high in protein and low in fat, making it perfect for lean survival diets. Rehydrate it with hot water or broth, and use the hydration water as a soup base to avoid waste. Always choose pre-cooked varieties for food safety. Freeze-dried cheddar shreds bring comfort and familiar flavor to survival meals, lasting up to 25 years. It melts and tastes like fresh cheese when rehydrated properly. Store it in nitrogen-packed cans and use the cheese powder that settles for flavoring. Cheddar is a top barter item because it transforms basic meals into something that feels normal and comforting. Finally, dehydrated onion flakes are the unsung heroes of survival cooking. They're lightweight, incredibly potent, and turn bland meals into something actually delicious. A single pound replaces up to 9 pounds of fresh onions and lasts over 20 years when stored properly. Their strong aroma actually repels insects, making them perfect for protecting other stored foods. Crush them into powder for seasoning blends and store them in foil-lined buckets for humid environments. Now let's talk about the storage methods that can mean the difference between food that lasts 2 years and food that lasts 30 years. Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers are absolutely essential. They keep out moisture and oxygen, which are the two main enemies of long-term food storage. Metal containers protect against rodents and insects that can destroy months of preparation in a single night. Vacuum sealing reduces air exposure and is ideal for fruits and jerky. Use humidity indicator cards that change color to monitor for moisture problems before they ruin your investment. Bay leaves are nature's insect repellent. Scatter them throughout your grain and legume storage to keep bugs away. When buying, always purchase after harvest when prices drop and quality is highest. Monitor market trends, watch for government contracts that can create shortages, and track weather events that affect growing regions. Always rotate your stock, labeling everything with the harvest year and using the oldest first. Remember, many of these foods, especially freeze-dried fruits, cheese, and jerky, are incredibly valuable for bartering. In a crisis, comfort foods and variety can be just as important as raw calories. Sweetness, color, and familiar flavors boost morale and help maintain psychological health and a sense of normalcy when everything else feels chaotic. Dried foods aren't just about calories. They're about resilience, peace of mind, and the ability to maintain dignity and comfort no matter what happens. By stocking these 20 essentials, storing them properly, and learning to use them creatively, you'll be prepared when everyone else is scrambling and panicking. If this video helped you understand the power of dried foods for long-term storage, smash that like button and subscribe to Food Fixer for more survival food secrets. What dried food are you most excited to add to your pantry? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into the exact storage containers and techniques that can extend shelf life even further.